now return to CBS 12's Hurricane Ready 2010.
When a storm threatens our coast, conditions can change in a hurry.
The system for issuing watches and warnings changed just this year to keep you safer during a storm. Here's CBS 12 Storm Track meteorologist Chris Farrell.
40 years ago in 1970, the National Hurricane Center could only produce a 3-day hurricane forecast track. Back then, the forecast error for where a hurricane would hit in 2 days still missed by an average of nearly 300 miles. Now the National Hurricane Center has faster, more sophisticated computer models. A hurricane jet now flies ahead of the storm, and a hurricane plane flies through the storm. The better data from ahead and inside the storm means a more accurate forecast that now goes out 5 days. The most recent data from 2005 shows Hurricane Center forecasts are now so accurate that when a hurricane or tropical storm is 2 days or 48 hours away, the Hurricane Center can predict where that storm will strike and be off by an average of only 100 miles. The increase in accuracy and confidence means 12 hours more time for evacuation, preparation, watches, and warnings. Starting this season, the new watch time is 48 hours. Watches mean a tropical storm or hurricane may threaten our area in 48 hours. That means hurricane-force winds of 74 miles an hour are possible here. Begin preparing your home and boat. Put shutters up and get food and fuel. Review evacuation plans. Are you going to a shelter or staying at home? And don't forget pets. The new warning time is 36 hours. Warnings mean tropical storm or hurricane conditions are expected here within 36 hours. A hurricane warning means winds of at least 74 miles an hour are expected and heavy rain too. Finish securing your windows and doors, and if you're leaving or evacuating, the time to leave is now. I'm meteorologist Chris Farrell. Now back to you.
Thanks, Chris. We're talking about a decision every family faces during a hurricane, whether to ride out the storm or to evacuate. Joining us now is the Director of Emergency Management for Palm Beach County, Bill Johnson. Bill, thanks for joining us. And what is the biggest mistake or some of the biggest mistakes that people make when they decide whether to stay or go?
Well, one of the biggest mistakes I think folks make is that they decide to evacuate too far from here. I think the first point in any evacuation plan is to stay within the county to the best that they can. Another mistake is that if they do in fact leave the county, they leave too late.
And when is it too late to evacuate?
When we have arrival of the severe weather, what we call tropical storm force winds of 39 miles an hour, by that time it's unsafe to be on the road at any time.
And can you take us through a safe and effective evacuation plan that a family should make before we get hit by a storm?
Well, again, first step is to identify whether or not you need to evacuate. Are you in an evacuation zone? Do you live in substandard homes or a mobile home or in a low-lying area that is prone to flooding? If you do, then you should evacuate. If you need to evacuate, then determine where you're going to evacuate to. Identify the family or friend that you evacuate to. Then plan that route. How are you going to get there? What's the quickest way to get there? And use that to identify how long it will probably take you and things like that. Then notify your families and friend members that that's where you're going to be so that after the storm, they know where to locate you. Simple as that.
All right, and time to make the plan is now, not when we're approaching a storm.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us, Bill.
So you've made the switch to digital television. You're all set to get hurricane alerts over the air, then the power goes out.
Still ahead, why your portable television could be useless this year and what you can do now to get critical information when it matters.
Plus, we're working for you, finding out what the power company is doing to help your neighborhood recover from an outage as quickly as possible.